Good evening and welcome to Mountain Bears. I'm Aeson, and of course, sitting in the old cubby seat is my techie with the mostest, Techie Joe. How are you, darling?
I'm doing well. We've had a wild day,
You're
haven't we?
part of one, I'm telling you. You're testing
Oh,
out my super strengths, I'm telling you.
I know, right? Like I'm so ready for like pizza and a movie. Like that's my goalpost for this evening.
Understandable. It's
How
gotten
about you?
cold. My goalpost for this evening is try not to see the sun come up.
Oh, there you go.
Like, sorry guys, I know everyone loves watching the sunrise. I don't in the winter because it reminds me that it's daytime.
There is that. There is that. Hey, Brenda.
Hello, Miss Brenda. How are you?
Yes.
So this week has been a little interesting. It's been a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, we got our first mule kick of like winter, like late of like heavy fall slash early winter.
Right.
That ugh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It,
And it
it,
triggered
it,
the hibernation of the bears. We slept for about 9 hours. Um,
yeah, as a group. Well, not all in one bed. I mean though, like it hit all of us at the same time.
yeah, like no, everybody was in their beds. I was in your bed. Um, and we all crashed out.
We did. Like it was just like everyone down.
And of course, we had Halloween
Yes, we had Halloween.
since we sat down and talked last, and it was an enjoyable Halloween. It wasn't the big, showy Halloween that I'm used to. No,
You went as the Red Queen though, and I got roses.
you did get roses, and I got injured. No surprise
Oh,
there, although it was a little surprise on what I injured. Get your minds out of the gutter. It was just my iron cross. Um, so,
yeah, he has to injure himself for every holiday, or else we just stand there like, well,
oh, did we even have it?
did we even have a holiday?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's when you burnt yourself. That's when you
yeah,
like he just walks around like a little scrapbook of holidays,
yeah.
and that's the burn from the turkey 2 years ago. Uh,
Thank you. The burn from last year is healing up quite nicely.
it is. It is. It is.
Hello, Miss, Shannon. Hello, Brenda. How are you, darling? So
Like
anyway,
it's well noted in his chart at the doctor, because I think even our doc, even Super Doc, was looking at me kind of sideways, like, "What are you doing to him?"
yeah,
And it's like, no, not me. Like, nope, he can't have a. Oh, Brenda says, catch the piercing on the trim of the costume. Oh, but no.
no, no. See, we have rod um, iron along the front porch,
The
and I was
rose.
cutting back the rose bushes,
Yes.
and I bent down to get one of the stems of the roses that was still living because it was like the bush was going this way and it was on the back of the bush.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came back up, it caught the arm of my piercing on the wrought iron and pulled it through to the other bar.
Yeah. 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 Ball and all.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Came in, said, "We have a situation." He came out all laughs and giggles.
It's just like, really? We have a situation? And
Uh-huh.
then I saw the blood. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What did you do? And he's like, well, my piercing came halfway through. And I'm like, okay, you baby, what's your problem? He's like, you don't understand. The piercing. And I'm like, yeah, so you dropped the ball. How did this result in blood? And he's like, the whole piercing. Oh, oh. And then he's like, fix it.
yeah, I need you to fix it. This is what I need you to do. And he is like, and I'm like, just
Okay.
fucking do it.
Okay. So pop that through like I was pressing a syringe,
Mm-hmm.
and
Nope. It was
I'm not
perfectly
sure the plaster
fine.
in the ceiling will ever be the same again, but
Plaster in the ceiling will be fine. It's not covered in blood.
well, there's that. There's that. Yeah, yeah. It was cringe.
It was cringe.
It was everything that could go
Get up
wrong went wrong.
there. Right. Up. Yeah. So we got that handled. For those who are wondering, what you do is you just treat it like a new piercing.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So if you have a piercing incident, yeah, you basically just have to like, well, we're re-pierced now.
Yep.
This is a new and interesting form of the piercing.
Yes. This is not, and it's done well. I mean, after 2 days, it's healed somewhat, and it's perfectly fine. However, the next day, I started seeing a trend on my TikToks.
Oh.
Sorry, she's being annoying. Um,
She followed the blood trail.
Well, no, she's not following the blood trail. She's just trying to annoy me because she knows I'm busy. And her daddy just came home, so I don't understand why she's up here talking to me. However, West Hollywood has this lovely, between the gay bars, carnival. Have every year. When I was out there for the gig that I'd done out there, and had a gorgeous time and got to see West Hollywood and also see the famous cemetery of Hollywood. And it's between gay bars. It's gay bars having a Halloween party in all its pure, enjoyable gay energy. And all in its pure gay energy. This year, children began showing up. The parents began bringing their 7-year-olds. And I'm like, excuse me? So I had to look into this. Yeah, some parents brought their 7-year-olds.
No.
Okay. And we're talking about, this isn't your normal Halloween party. This is a gay bar Halloween party. Where the costume that won this year was the peacocks.
I'm afraid.
Lovely
I'm afraid
peacock costumes. And it was very gorgeous, and it was at the mid body. Sorry, guys, we're trying to sprout the YouTube's conversational regulation. So, yeah, got the clue where the harnessing of the costume is. And that's all. Like, they had on nothing else but their peacocks and jock. And they're bringing their 7-year-olds out to that.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think we should have all agreed. Don't know what happened, but I thought we were all real clear. This was not
right
a children's party. Now part of me wants to ask the ill-fated question. Were these actual event attendees? As in, these are people who are part of the community and they had a brain dead moment?
No.
Or are these protesters trying to basically create their own problem?
Well, what it is, and what I believe it is, because there isn't like protestees or anything like that, because Folsom Street doesn't have, West Hollywood's never had a problem, the business is shut down, there's signage but no checkpoints, that no, this is you know what's going on. Everyone has known what's going on since the 1970s.
Pretty much.
Not kitty department. So I dug a little farther and I was like, okay, well, is this maybe just because it's Halloween and maybe these Midwesterners that have moved out to West Hollywood don't have a clue and just thought it was a Halloween party and, it was abhorrent, or maybe they're just cool with it. So I go on and dance down to San Francisco to the reporting on Folsom Street. For those that do not know, Folsom Street is the Leather Community Festival in September. That's mostly for gay men, and it's all S&M and leather and all this other stuff. Guess what? Who the cops had to remove a number of times?
Oh no!
More parents with children. Like, are you kidding me? You thought it was a good idea to bring your children out to the parade that was a leather and SM, I keep saying S&M, leather bondage, fetish gear festival.
Yes. Well, and it looks like the actual street fair does not allow children at it.
No, it doesn't.
Like that is part of their actual rules. Like, and here's my problem. I wouldn't have even thought that anyone needed to make a rule.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of self-evident. This is an adult event.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But I'm seeing articles going back to like 2005.
Yeah.
That like this is an annual problem they have now.
Yeah.
Is just every year someone, at least a few people, oh. Now there is some commentary from like Pink News a couple of years ago. People keep getting the Folsom Street Fair and the Pride event confused.
How? How? This is what I do not get is how do they keep nice jewelry?
Scroll. Ooh, pretty. I could wear that. Scroll.
No, I could not wear this.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'll show you. I'm going to show it. It's nice.
I'm going to show it.
But I am like, are you kidding me?
So this is just, it's just random parents who don't know better. That is cute.
Yeah.
That is some cute jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
That has not been cheap either.
No, that's hand custom. But no, I couldn't wear that. My mouth moves too much. Although it could be useful in our next story when we get there. But what's your thoughts on this? Because Brenda says, and this is how you get things shut down. I think this is how parents need to start getting charged.
I just don't see how you don't know better.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're close enough to be able to go to the event and it's like a spur of the moment decision, you should technically be close enough to know what you're taking yourself to and whether or not kids in tow. Like, I'm pretty sure we're all real clear that we don't take babies to bars.
Last I checked.
That when you go to the strip club, you don't take, your 15-year-old.
Right.
that's generally a bad idea. Like, in addition to the fact they're not going to get in,
Right.
it's just a bad idea. Like, I thought we were all clear on this.
I thought so too. Like I thought, and apparently, I'm naive. Um, on the factor of the idea that as parents, you know what, where to take your children, where this is not a children's zone. But see, this is the same thing we're seeing happen and happen over and over in our spaces.
Well, see, what gets funny is I'm looking through and there's like multiple warnings, like articles. Because if you look for, I did a Google search, simple Google search, kids at Folsom Festival.
Mm-hmm.
There's some articles,
Yeah.
multiples, that are like, no, warning parents, do not.
Do not take your children to this festival. Do not take your children to West Hollywood's, Halloween ball, or street parade or whatever they're calling it this century.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's one. San Francisco parents beware. Folsom Street Fair is this weekend.
Yeah.
Really? That's the title of the article.
Yeah.
This is a hard concept.
Yeah. Apparently for him.
Seriously? Is this really?
And then we look at the problems we've had in the state with, our drag queens and our leather performers, now being classified as cabaret dancers. And, Tennessee's wanting to fine drag queens if a minor is present. Find the minor.
Yeah. San Francisco Travel Guide, or sftravel.com, under their do's and don'ts of Folsom Street Fair. Don't bring your kids. This isn't a family-friendly event, so plan on getting a babysitter for the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I just struggle with how you could potentially be this dense. Or do you as a parent not have an issue with it and you're like, no, it's fine. And it's like, it is not fine.
Right.
Like, no, there's no. Legally not fine.
Right.
Because even on the broken premise that you, as some willy-nilly parent, are out here like, no, it's fine. We'll take him to Folsom Street Festival. It'll be great.
We'll get him a little leather ball gag.
We don't mind that, they see these things. I don't know. Isn't that somewhere under contributing to the delinquency of a minor? And then at the involvement of children, isn't that a sex crime?
Yeah.
Not to mention, if any of this is being videotaped, you potentially have a minor appearing in a sex tape.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
the legal ramifications.
Yeah.
Like, again, this isn't just nudity, which argumentatively that goes back a few decades on whether or not naturist and nudist venues should allow children or not.
Right.
Whether that's appropriate and whether that's a sign of a horrible parent or blah 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 blah.
Right.
And it's
even in West Hollywood, children and pets are strongly discouraged.
Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't know anyone needed to be told.
I'm surprised that it is not there. Yeah. And, my point of view, and, is like, here we go. They keep invading. We have, gay men in resorts, straight couples want to come. Why? Just because we throw better parties and have better entrees? Knock your shit off. You don't belong here.
I mean, I could sort of understand if you are a couple with at least a bi male.
Mm-hmm.
And this is talking about specifically gay male like
Right.
venues. I could potentially understand that a little. But at some point it's just kind of like, I don't know, cut the leash, let your husband go and stay home or do something else.
Yeah,
Like,
drop
why
him
can't
off
that
at
be
summer camp and go enjoy your week without him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Like,
most women would dream of that. Believe me, I know. I talked to enough of them.
yeah. I just
Okay.
no.
But now they're starting to do the festivals. Of course, Pride has become family friendly to fit into regulations. And it's like, protest is not a place for a child.
Generally speaking, no. But technically where we're at today,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't have a problem with Pride in general being family friendly if we're talking about the realities that, teenagers are coming out,
Mm-hmm.
younger and younger. Um, and, the desire to be part of the community, the desire to be supportive of the community, gay uncles, lesbian aunts, whatever the deal is,
Mm-hmm.
supportive of trans friends, looking for support for their own trans identities. I'm fine with Pride going family.
Right.
That's not what Folsom is.
Now,
Like, it is heavily influenced
mm-hmm.
by the LGBTQ community. It is very open, welcoming, and accepting.
Right.
As I last understood it was very much run
Mm-hmm.
by the fetish and kink communities.
Well, it is. It's run by Mr. Leather right there on Folsom Street, which is the premier leather creator in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And, is basically blown up from them having a block party, but not a kid place.
No, I would think BDSM and kink community hold an event should pretty much tell you,
No.
stay home.
Yeah.
At least leave the kids home. Like, if you and your spouse want to come out, or
Right.
you and your significant other
Right.
want to come out, you are more than welcome to have a lovely time.
Right.
But the minute we see the baby stroller,
Right.
with the baby,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
Do you really want to mess with people that have this much or this many leashes? And they can drag you back to your car.
Yes. Instead, they just let San Francisco police handle it,
which is appropriate.
Yes. And I think that is more the, it's, to me, it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Go throw your own parties.
Yeah. Like, don't you have a trunk or treat?
Yeah.
Like, don't you have something else?
Yeah.
Or a babysitter. More importantly, just a babysitter.
Yeah.
All you needed. Leave the kids with babysitter or at a kid's event.
Yes.
Don't just dump them at a Chuck E. Cheese. That's rude and illegal.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I will never understand that one.
Yeah. Of course, there were protesters that had to show up, in general. Luckily, this year they seemed like they were tame. They just had the normal signs reminding us that we do get free, discounts on property in hell, and fill the checkbook or go to hell. The fun of it all.
All the fun things. But let me know when we're ready to transition, because I've got this one.
We're ready.
All right. Speaking of ball gags and public floggings, Oh, the judge in New York for the Trump case has gone Oprah's favorite things at this point with gag orders. Um, yeah, so the gag order has been extended to Trump's attorneys. Like, you get a gag order, and you get a gag order, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you.
You know, I'm quite sure if the judge makes a simple call over to Mr. Leather, they'll be happy to send out ball gags for them.
You know,
You know, it's ridiculous that at this point, um, not Mr. Leather, Mr. S, sorry.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Like, they'd probably even do it free of charge.
likely. Likely. Like they'd probably gladly just send them to each court.
Yeah.
Like,
Except
here's your
they would have to deliver them to Florida. You can't mail ball gags in Florida.
what?
Yeah. It's like you can't watch Pornhub in Virginia anymore. Although the Republicans can mail out your porn for you.
What? That's even more confusing.
Okay. So the Republican caucus is mailing out pamphlets about one of the nurses that is running for
the wildest moment of my week, and I had already forgotten about it.
Yeah.
I basically had to research Chatterbait.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Because the Republican Party
Mm-hmm.
has made a video.
Yeah.
And has done a mailing.
Mm-hmm.
About one of the candidates. What is that?
Give me a minute.
I'm trying to remember. Like, you sent it in Slack. I should be able to scroll. Yeah, no, that was the wildest moment this week. Like, truthfully, honestly, I'm looking at this when I wake up, and I was like, why is he sending me porn?
Yeah.
Why is he sending me straight porn? I was like, and then, Oh, there we go. So, yeah, Republican Party of Virginia mails out thousands of explicit flyers about Susanna Gibson's scandal.
I think it's because they're afraid that if they see her internal emails, she will recognize their asses. That's my damn opinion. Yeah. And if I lived in her district, I would vote for her. I don't care if she thought that pinochle was a type of spread.
I don't know. It's just how much further can we go with the horror, the shock value? Like, does it what?
Well, how long are we going to hold adults being adults against their own life?
Yeah. That's basically where I'm at. Is like, do you know how many people now have an OnlyFans account? Do you know how many people are creating adult content? Like, at what point do most people even care anymore?
I would have thought it was when we had a president that said, grab her by the pussy. I mean, that's when I thought that, the Republicans would have got with it and went, oh my God, we've been stuck in the Stone Age for so long. Let's get this fixed.
We'll just have naked debates and be done with it.
As long as they are British Parliament style, I'm there for it. I want to see the Speaker of the House jump the fuck up.
Really? Do you?
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, please, honey. His nudes have already been leaked.
Okay. But no, again, like, why do we care? Like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, yeah, we cared.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, she does porn. Oh my God, he was in porn. And we cared. I think sex work has come a long ways.
Right.
Oh, there's no good sentences in this reporting, I know. But I think it's come a long ways, and that we're just not there anymore. Like this idea that sex work is shameful and dirty and horrible. Now, I do take issue. I will say I do take issue with her. For trying to turn this into a sex crime against her.
Well, it is.
I'm not following that one.
It's revenge porn. Point blank, it's revenge porn.
But it's not.
But it is.
Because the revenge porn theory is that you send someone a video exclusively to them.
Uh-huh.
A video, adult content, one way or another. And they, knowing this was intended only for them and their viewing, repost it elsewhere or send it elsewhere. That's the technical definition on revenge porn.
Right.
This was still available, like anyone could stumble into it, and apparently they did.
Okay, let's take this a different direction. And it's not that they stumbled in on it, honey. There's no way to just stumble in on it, okay? It takes a bit of research to get to her shit. If a client comes for a reading from me, that reading is between me and the client. I have no right, unless by court order, and that's if I even maintain storage of it somewhere, i.e. they would actually have to go to the platform to get it, to then go and publish it in the New York Times. Okay. That technically violates their own stuff, but this is being used as revenge porn, as trying to shame you for the porn you have done. And I believe the clips they're showing is not from a public feed, which is where she's getting revenge porn. This is custom created stuff.
I mean, she might have a point on the custom created, but frankly, you appeared in it because Chatterbait does hold content,
right,
or can,
right,
and it is publicly accessible. You don't have to do anything,
right.
Like you can look up a specific model, and it is exactly like going to whatever porn site, and like look up Jenna Jameson. Jenna Jameson's there. There's nothing that keeps your audience from going, well, that's not Jenna Jameson's real name. She's actually
right.
Like, see, this is her.
Right.
That in and of itself, I don't think revenge porn makes. But if she's talking about exclusively produced for like a paid subscriber, then there becomes the question of, was it downloadable content, and who owns it?
Right.
Because if that was technically a work for hire, then it gets into the concept of being the same as you agree to appear in a pornographic film for a production company. It's just one person who whipped out their credit card, as well as probably something else, paid for the content. They own it. It is exclusively theirs. if they want to blast you and your campaign with it,
Mm-hmm.
technically they can do that.
Right. But again, that's what revenge porn is. It's using porn to be revengeful on others. And yes, it is a crime.
Well, and I'm not arguing revenge porn isn't a crime. That is definitively a sex crime. I'm there with that. I'm just struggling to really lock in on the idea that her revenge porn claim
Mm-hmm.
is going to hold.
I think that it'll get swept under the rug, under, I don't know, let's say public decency or whatever they want to trump up. And, oh, we're trying to keep the voters informed. Please. You're trying to do is keep, yourselves in office so you can continue to control your people and make your money that you seem to want to do. And violate their rights of freedom of speech, freedom, to decide what they choose to view in their life and in their home. And it's like, oh, can we not? Like, didn't Hustler win this on the First Amendment? Why is Virginia trying it again?
There is that. Yeah. Oh, Devin says it sure is confusing, and I don't want to see naked old balls.
I think we would have less debate very quickly and we would get better laws passed.
Possibly. Or the most frightening television network known to humankind.
And that may be the only way we get, Ladybug out of office.
I'm sorry, who?
Oh, Ladybug. What is North Carolina?
Meanwhile, we all know Lauren Boebert's going to get a lot of bills passed.
Mm-hmm.
God knows she couldn't go see Beetlejuice without turning it dirty.
Right. Lindsey Graham.
Oh, poor Lady G.
Yeah.
Poor Lady G.
Anyhow. All righty then. So moving into something that you guys seem to respond to last week. So we're going to do it again this week. And get into it a little bit deeper. Sister wives. Cody wants to reconcile with Janelle. I know why Cody wants to reconcile with Janelle. Do you?
Do you feel like he's just the king of too little, too late? Like, are you in there?
Well, I think he is the king of, oh my God, that check it didn't hit my account.
There's that one. This is sort of the equivalent of like showing up to the current site of the sunk Titanic
Mm-hmm.
and throwing, life preservers into the water.
Yeah.
I think this relationship is so dead.
Well, I think it's so dead, but I also think that it is like, dude, you lost your moneymaker.
Yeah, I should have thought about that, huh?
You should have thought about that and treated her and her children better. I don't know. You had many opportunities to do so. You had the opportunity to do that when she said, you need to go talk to my children. You could have done that when she said, why don't you come to Christmas? Or when she said, we need to talk. And you said, I'm not listening. Like I'm sorry, Janelle is known to be one of the housewives that will bust her ass. She can hustle like nobody else, and she will make things successful. She always has.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that's because she is capable of putting up with a lot
Mm-hmm.
and has.
Yeah.
So, but I think she's also someone that like there's a tilt.
Right.
Like put up, 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 and then tilt. I'm shut up. Get out.
Right.
Stay out of my life. I'm not putting up anymore. Not doing this. Not
Right.
doing it.
Right.
Like, nope.
You know.
And I think once she's sounding very much like someone. Once she hits that point, no, there's no reverse.
Right.
It's just full steam ahead. Like you had opportunities, you
Mm-hmm.
had off ramps.
Right.
You could have fixed it.
Well, not only could you have fixed it, but you could have done better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like she is one of, if she was within my hinge,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, all I got to do is show up, spend time with his kids, talk to her. We go out to dinner, and she's turning in $2,000 to the family account every month.
Manage the basics. Don't be a dick.
Dick. Hell, I'd even do the dishes. I mean, come the hell on. She cooks, she works, in lucrative careers. She makes money. She is caring and loving, and nothing faults her, nothing flaps her. What the fuck?
Yeah. Like,
She's known as the Teflon Queen because she basically is.
yeah. But there's a certain point where it's like, nope, not doing this anymore. Like, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, nope. I got nothing for this.
Right. And then Mary Brown finally got the clue.
Oh, did the penny drop?
Finally, I mean, she called him on her anniversary. Now, you know how mad I get when you forget just the paper, just one of the anniversaries.
Yes, because there were multiples.
Yes.
But yeah.
Calls him on her anniversary, says, "Happy anniversary. Do you want to go out to dinner?" And Cody has to go, I'm watching the kids. And how she did not deck him in that restaurant when he's like, well, we don't have we're not living as husband and wife. How she does not deck this man is beyond me.
I mean, does that not just scream like, again, going back to my Titanic reference, it's like, Rose and Jack on the door floating in the water.
Uh-huh.
Like, do you want to go out for our anniversary? No. I'll always think of you. Like,
yeah.
The most anti-romance scene ever. It's just like I'm how I'm picturing that in the like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, nope. No. Like, again, all of this is like he has had so many opportunities to like get it
and hold
get
it
there, do the things, like just show up, do the things, act like you have a clue.
Yeah.
And all of this, and I'm not saying that all of this would be going beautifully. I'm just saying I don't think you would quite be in the crisis situation of like leaving me that you're currently in.
Yeah, and having children that do not speak to you, do not speak to you, do not speak to you, want nothing to do with you, has basically told you that they're leaving and they're taking their businesses with them, and got married, like replaced you in under a year.
I keep finding it interesting that all of the like like poor TLC. They have given us what was supposed to be like slightly controversial
All right.
television about, religious families that are unlike, your next door neighbors.
Right.
The polyamorous family, and then we have the Duggars, who are the multiplicative,
Right.
the quiverful family. And these shows have both gone places.
Well, not only that, but you're missing the hunting sister wives, hunting brother, husband brothers. Those shows lasted one season.
Right. Well, but I mean, like the core story or the core like family, like the concept we were all sold.
Right.
And like, this is going to be this pretty picture of polyamory. And yes, it's a little different, but it's a lot like your marriage. Oh, really?
Really?
It's more like a lot like your divorce.
True. I mean, it's a really long one.
Or in the case of the Duggars, how to create a child pedophile.
Right.
And
always smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I am like I am just cringing. The polyamorous community, which, is argumentative whether they're part of polyamory or they're not. They are technically, so we're going to go there. Has basically created a hinge school, and Cody Brown needs to read it.
Yes, please, by all means.
Yeah, go through every article.
I don't know. Is like I know he managed to marry Robin, but that was become involved with Robin before all this blew up.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's been married to her. He got married to divorce him. Very, amicably, so that they could adopt Robin's kids, because she was so worried if something were to happen to her, that the ex-husband would get her two oldest. And I'm like, okay, sometimes you have to reorganize legally. That makes sense. And we're going along here. And then, I don't know, it was a couple seasons ago, Mary let it slip that he's not been taking care of her in a husbandly way he should be.
Right.
Which I am like, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, here's my point, though. Do we really think it matters if he goes to hinge school at this point? Because can you really see anyone else after all of the blow up of this being like, that's the dude for me?
I do.
Seriously?
Honey, my ex-husband's dating somebody, so of course, there's somebody out there.
Okay, fair enough. I mentally cannot do not let me be your friend that as you go to, I've got the hots for Cody Brown, because I'm going to look at you and be like, do you want to be civilly committed now? Or do you want me to wait until you take action?
Right.
It's up to you, but one way or another, you're getting a grippy sock vacation to sort this out.
Right. And,
because Jesus.
Yeah. And you can tell, you can look at Robin in her confessionals, which have been filmed in 2023. Having him full time is aging her. It's like, get him a wife now, get him a wife today.
Oh, and I doubt it's his abilities or skills in the bedroom that is just wearing her out.
Oh, you can tell that he does not have either.
Oh, I mean, granted, Brenda points out there's always someone that'll take your used and broken toys. And I'm sure there's a booth for that at Folsom Fair, but that's a whole other topic.
If not, there should be.
Like, just tie it all together, Joe. But no, I get that. I struggle with the idea, like, who friends don't let friends date Cody Brown. Friends don't let friends date Cody Brown.
Right.
Like, why is this so hard?
Well, it's so hard, I think, because there are so, from what I understand in the ABL, which is their religious sect of Mormonism,
Mm-hmm.
he's a catch. He owns a house, he owns land, he owns property, he has children. He's, been all around. But looking at this, I'm going, did you watch the show? Have you watched all the shows? Like, go back and watch all of his lying and his manipulating or his creating of situations, being
Well,
creative.
I thought though they had technically left the ABL. I think you were saying. I thought they had technically left that too.
No, they have not. Well,
Okay.
they have left the church they were in because, the media was showing up every damn Sunday. They were going to end up having a mega church without the mega.
Well, I mean, it kind of falls into one of those categories. Like, don't you end up having to build a mega church anyway? Like, one dude, four wives, lots of non-restrictive procreating. Don't you eventually think you're gonna have to have stadium seating?
Well, that would have been the plan, and they should have separated it out into districts. But no, they are part of the church. Like, they have not been separated from the church, but they have been told, "Will you please not show up on Sundays anymore?"
Ouch.
Yeah, and I think that's Janelle's main problem is she needs a bishop to go. Nah, you guys are done.
Yeah.
Okay, because she's still holding to religious principles, and she's made an infinite lifetime commitment and into affinity and more, which, guys, if it's more than your lifetime, you really need to be debating that with your spirit guide, in my opinion, about how that effect is going to have on your life.
Like, this could get messy in a few, reincarnations.
True. It's like the Scientology billion-year contract. Do you really want to sign a billion-year contract? Talk to your spirit guide first. You may have other complications. Like, you may have been a Catholic monk in the 1800s and would have already signed a billion-year contract to the service of God, so you can't be a Scientologist. Just saying.
There is that. There is that.
So, like,
I don't know.
I'm happy for Christine's marriage. She was gorgeous. Janelle's gym is doing amazing. Janelle's Plexus program is doing amazing. I'm happy for her.
Mhm.
I hope that Mary's bed and breakfast, which is overpriced, but I would love to stay there just for the historical factor. I hope it gets its kitchen because we haven't seen that. But I have a question for you.
For me,
Yes, since you have made it publicly known that you're the houseplant,
yeah.
if I was pulling the Cody Brown stunts, how fast would I get my head chopped off?
I mean, I'm not saying there's a never. I think in every relationship you do and should put up with some crap. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you just rush out the minute sometime that someone does anything wrong and be like, that's it, we're done, bye, bitch. Um, I think I could excuse a few things
Okay.
for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's gonna be like, nope. No. Like, now, if they had been screwed up from the very beginning, which seems to be Cody's thing,
Right.
then, oh no, we, like, what relationship?
Right.
Like, we don't have a relationship, because that
Mm-hmm.
would imply that none of these things ever occurred,
Mm-hmm.
before we got like while we were, like dating and everything else. Because yeah, if those showed up in dating, it'd be like, no.
Yeah.
No, I think after you're together for a few years, you can tolerate some weirdness.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if all this kind of started and like, this kind of screw up and that kind of screw up and that other kind of screw up. Okay. Like I'm going to see if this self-corrects. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
didn't self-correct. Let's try to talk it out. Okay, talking didn't work because I figured that's had to have been occurring.
Oh yeah.
And then no, Dad, like you're not gonna get too off along before it's like, no, this is who you are now. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Like this isn't who I want to be with, so goodbye.
Right.
Like again, it would go back to what relationship? Like the relationship I had died.
Right. Well, it seems like these relationships have died. Christine went like 3 years. Janelle has went like 6, and Mary is going on. I think she said over a decade. Which one are you?
Oh, I don't think I'm any of them. I'm like, who did they lose like 3 months in?
Nobody.
I thought there was one woman that they like in the very beginning.
Uh-uh.
Really? Like,
Really?
I mean, before like there was a show, before all of it.
No.
Okay. I really thought there was. No, I wouldn't even made it to the show. Like I would have been out long before. Like I can't see myself as any of them.
Okay.
Like because so much of this goes all the way back.
Right. You
Like
know,
and crap that he has done repeatedly.
and
Like it's not
continue.
just like he woke up and decided, had a bad day or well, 4 wives was one too many. I'm starting to slack.
Right.
Like he turned 50 and went, well, I'm slowing down. Like I can't keep up with all this, or they hit like child number whatever,
Right.
and he went, well, okay, this is getting to be too much. Like that fifth fucking soccer practice is gonna kill me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It like that's not really where it was. It's not like anything changed. They just basically got fed up with it after however long. Like,
Well, I think some things changed. I think location changed. I think because apparently, every time he moves, he loses a wife. He stops having relationships with a wife.
yeah.
Um,
Weird reaction to a new house, but okay.
yeah, like, and because when they first started the show, they all lived in one house, and then they moved to Las Vegas and built the what I will call the end of the lane compound. Because they were all in a U, and every wife had their own home, and it was a thing. And then he moves the whole family off to oh, where are they now? Um, Flagstaff.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, he's got a 20-minute drive from his house, from Robin's house to Mary's house or Christine's house that he has to drive past every day anyhow. Okay, this isn't a new thing, like, but 20 minutes. I am personally laughing my fucking ass off at this because my drive was what, 45 minutes?
Oh, every bit of that. Like it's like an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like it's not a short trip from like this house to the house I was living in.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't perfect. It had its moments. We had to make decisions. We're in West Virginia. Like, do you really want to get trapped down here for 2 weeks?
Yeah, sure.
Well, but
furthermore,
as in
that wasn't even the question. The question was, does he want you to get trapped down here for 2 weeks?
that too. Like, is that going to work? How do we make
Right.
that work if that were to happen?
Right.
But no, like with all of that though, it's still this concept of like, yeah, you have to like have some conversations, make some choices, and do some things.
Right.
And like, okay, well, you get him this snowstorm, I'll take him the next snowstorm.
Mm-hmm. Or
Because
you take the Invisibles move of, no, you can just keep him this week.
yeah, basically. Like,
Cash
no,
app
no, no, no.
Yeah. Can you cash app? No. Can you PayPal me money to order pizza?
Yep.
Keep him.
Yeah. Yep. As long as cigarettes and pizza were covered, like you can keep him as long as you'd like. Oh, it sounds so bad when we say it, but seriously.
Well, this is back when he was doing his gaming, and he would game for like 32 hours. And I think the snowstorm that we're talking of, and he made this comment. Max Effect came out.
I'm just going to be gaming anyway.
Yeah, and he is like, I don't need my husband here. I want to play gaming. And it's
He's
a
just going
choice
to be
he makes.
annoying and say things like, you've been awake for 72 hours. You have to sleep.
Right.
Silly things like that.
Furthermore, I have to sleep. Turn that shit off.
That too. That one's useful.
Right. I have said it a number of times. Get the cat off me and the bed.
Yes.
Still say that one.
But no, I
Right.
it sounds so bad, but like
Right.
there were reasons.
Yeah. Because he enjoyed at that time he wasn't getting much time alone other than when I was gone.
True. Very, very true. But yeah.
Oh, Brenda has a conversation going on here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those roses out back would be growing really well.
Uh-huh.
I think that was in response to how she thought I would react as the plastic house plant.
Uh-huh.
Towards the scenario you were describing, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. Y'all think I'd still be here?
Right.
Like, oh no.
Right.
Like, no, those would have sent up enough. Like, I don't think I could date Cody without having so many red flags go up. I'm like, no.
I think I could, but I think that it would be a very heavy-handed relationship. When I mean heavy-handed, first of all, I have to go to San Francisco to do some shopping. And then I'm going to see if they actually make an electric collar in a size 19. And I would have handled Robin, like her ass, and I need him to take care of the children. Fine on Thursdays.
Yes. Here's your day. Did you not know what you signed up for?
Exactly. Like, I would not have been as nice as Christine was. Janelle, I don't know how, like, her and Mary need to put up for sainthood.
Yeah, basically. Well, I'm waiting for one of his sons to deck him.
I'm hoping that they do and they film it. Yeah.
That may have already occurred and we're just waiting for the footage.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, have we noticed any unusual bruising or like disjointed facial features?
No, but he has been thrown out of gun shows.
Oh, what?
Well, remember, one of Cody's jobs is he sells at gun shows.
Right.
Okay, he didn't get the licensing required to appear at the gun shows, so him and his company has been thrown out of a number of gun shows.
Why? Why? It's like this is your business. How do you screw that up?
Well, it's that, well, we just haven't had time to do it. And I'm like, yeah, because Janelle's not there to do it for you.
Exactly. Like that part, yeah, that's totally yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think that surprises no one that Janelle was the one handling
Yeah.
everything.
Well, it's like she's the one, she had one complaint about the divorce when they restructured the family. Can you wait until after the taxes are filed? Because it's going to be a blaming mess.
Yep. Let me file the taxes, then you can do it.
Right. That was her only thing. That, and she didn't like it, which,
Again, was going to put up and just keep going.
Yep, like not my relationship, not my house.
Not my preferred way to handle this. Kind of goes against everything, but you, sir, are the one in charge of this marriage,
You're right.
these relationships. So you do you, boo boo.
Uh-huh.
Not loving
Okay
it.
now. And I have to give her credit. She, at least, the only knockdown drag out we really have ever saw out of her is when this last fight they had and it was filmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
Yeah,
she basically
I think
said, fuck you.
I think the direction that Sister Wives is headed is like Sister Smackdown. Like Monday Night Raw, just like ugh! That's where I'm at with this. Like
See, I
I don't
don't
think
think
it's
so.
gonna.
I think where we're headed is a spinoff with Christine and Janelle, possibly Mary, and Cody and Robin get left in the dust as they should be.
I don't know. See, I'm kind of thinking Robin's going to be the one to start the fight.
Well, she does start the fight, but she has Cody do it for her. It's worse here than me having you guys make my coffee. I have sat here and watched it play out.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, she starts stuff. I get that. Like we're all there. I mean, I'm thinking we're gonna see her break bad, and I think the first like punch thrown,
Mm-hmm.
literal punch, is
Right.
gonna be Robin.
Oh, I think so. Of course, I also think that if Cody keeps it up, she's going to divorce his ass, legally divorce his ass, and she ain't going to be nice. She's going to go hire some shark attorney that is going to take half of everything in his name, no matter which wife it's with.
Uh-huh.
Of course, he won't have any at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna end badly.
Yeah.
Like, and she's been hinting at it.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's because she's like, I wanted polygamy. I did not want monogamy. I specifically wanted community.
Yeah, Shannon's like, he complains he can't afford to provide for the kids he has, but he keeps wanting to get more wives and have more kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like there's this broken idea here.
Right.
That I mean, and we saw that play out on the Duggars too.
Mm-hmm.
Is one, God will provide, which okay, fine, whatever you like. Okay, I'll let you have that one. Like, fine. But more to the point, it's like we saw it with the Duggars, we saw it with John and Kate plus 8. There was that moment
Mm-hmm.
when you're realizing like this isn't working out.
Yeah.
Like, or more importantly, the only way this is working out.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason you are not down at the welfare department filing for food stamps
Mm-hmm.
is because of the show.
Well, can we step out a minute here? Because, one, I'm sorry, the goddess will write me a check anytime she wants.
Right.
So I'm not going to attack the God, the Yahweh will provide ideaism. We've seen it work too many times in our life. But it's like, according to the scripture they quote for their version of polygamy,
Mm-hmm.
he has to be able to afford the wives he has.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like anyone ever enforces that part.
They should.
Because it seems like, the wives have been providing for him.
Yes. And all his toys.
Yeah, it doesn't run the other way.
Right.
I mean, not that we're against this, like we've made the polyamory joke about, the entrance fee is at least one streaming account.
Yeah, we want Disney Plus right now.
Yeah,
we're putting in applications.
Yeah, don't show up with Hulu. That's no.
Yeah.
No. But no. I get to some degree the idea that you can create this what was the Partridge Family moment where everyone has a role and a part and it's just one big family business.
Right.
Granted theirs was performance, but
no, I mean there's some that pull it off. I mean the Kingstoms, good or bad or ugly, they've pulled it off.
Yeah. No, and I get that. I'm just sitting here going, but this one has not been how that's worked out.
No, it hasn't. And I think
like
it's because, especially these last two seasons, it hasn't. And this is my opinion of it. Janelle stopped.
Pretty much.
Once they got the flagstaff, she stopped doing the bookkeeping. She stopped paying the bills. She taught Christine how to pay an electric bill. So let that sink in there. She taught Christine how to pay her electric bill.
Which scares me in terms of either A, you don't know how at all. Like, you have never paid a bill.
Right. She hadn't.
Okay, or part two is how complicated are the finances that you had to teach someone how to do something that they ought to be able to do as simple as pay an electric bill.
Right. No.
And I'm not sure that it's not both.
Right.
That there may be a whole flow chart of what all has to happen for you, one person in this situation, to pay an electric bill.
No, I don't think she had ever paid an electric bill or a water bill or a mortgage payment because Janelle handled finances.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like trying to teach you to feed the children.
Okay, I should be okay with that. I think I can figure that out. Open can, give food. Find clothespin. Open can.
Yeah.
Feed food.
Right, because
I'm good with that.
Wheelhouse.
No, well, yeah, it's not my wheelhouse. But I could deal. I could muddle my way through. It's not like if something happens to you tomorrow, I can't, figure out our finances and pay the electric bill.
Right, but you've paid an electric bill before.
Right.
If something happens to me, I don't think that you can do the appointment.
No, I can't. Well, the only thing I can do for the appointment is, I'm sorry, he's incapacitated or deceased.
Mm-hmm.
We can issue a refund.
Right.
And I will make sure if you're incapacitated to write down that you had an appointment.
Right.
Who with, and
yeah,
you can try to contact them when you are feeling better.
Right. But she had never paid a bill ever. Janelle had paid all the family bills. Janelle handled the family finances, the family accounts. Even though she had her own grocery account or whatever, Janelle had set it all up. All she done was take her little envelope and go buy her supplies that she needed each week.
Yeah.
And that was a whole holy fuck moment about how codependent Cody had allowed the relationships to become.
Right. Well, not that that's. I mean, there's some amount of that in a fair number of relationships that God help you if something happens.
Right.
Because there are a fair number of relationships where people just didn't learn like basic living life skills.
Right.
Like they don't have a clue how to buy a car. The only thing they know how to do with money is spend it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like an allowance base. Like, the credit card has $500 on it.
Right.
Okay, $499.99 is the most I can spend. Got it.
Right. But
Not actually, figure out, well, you have $2,500 worth of income.
mm-hmm.
The rent's due, the electric bill's due, and you need to buy groceries.
Right.
Figure out how to make that work.
Right. But no, Janelle taught all that to her.
Mm-hmm. Which, the fact that had to be the way that went.
Yeah. Furthermore, why Cody has no idea on finances. Like, it's quite obvious he has no idea.
I don't think he's ever been involved, or he was involved at some point and just really screwed it up.
One of the two, because I'm thinking from a Mormon perspective. He is supposed to be the head of the household.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I agree with the viewpoint, but we're going to go with their viewpoint.
That should be a head of household responsibility, let alone if you're going to have to teach someone how to do it.
Right.
Wouldn't you think that would make more sense?
Right.
From the head of household.
Right. But no, Janelle handled up until Flagstaff all the family accounting, documentation, record preserving, corporate filings, LLC filings, all of that.
Mm-hmm. And
all the government paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something tells me there's just a filing cabinet of Social Security cards.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like business licenses, Social Security cards, medical cards, birth certificates. Yeah. Like that's just one filing cabinet right there, just right in.
Here's the family taxes for the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because Janelle moved into the RV and she had to put a lot in storage. And I'm like, if I was going to an RV, I wouldn't be storing half this shit. What are all these boxes? And it hit me. It's all her fucking records.
Yeah. Yeah. And more importantly, not just hers.
Right.
Like, it's apparently everyone's stuff.
Right. Except Christine, I'm quite sure she's transferred Christine's over to Christine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm quite sure everyone got deliveries of all their packages when Cody had to come get his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that had more to do with come get your, important legal documents.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, otherwise I will shred them.
Right. Because it was no bean bags there.
Yeah.
Of his. There, at most he had talked about not keeping clothes there.
Mm-hmm.
That he basically had, he had 4 closets, and now he's down to 1, so he has to clean stuff out. But no, I think it was much more than just clothes. All right, so let's hop over and find out if you're the asshole this week.
All right. Am I the asshole because I won't buy food for my ex and our kids? My ex and I divorced when our kids were young. The kids are 12 and 15 now. We have been divorced for 7 years now. We have 50-50 custody and she remarried. No spousal support is done. Her new husband recently left her. I don't know, and I'm not interested in the particulars. In my opinion, he didn't seem like a terrible guy, and he left her their house. Once again, I have no idea of debt load or anything like that. She called me last week to see if I could please help her out with some food. She said that she had run through her budget for food for her and the kids and basically begged me to help her out. I asked her to give me a few minutes and I would call her back. I talked to my girlfriend who lives with me. We agreed that we could spare some food. We have a freezer full of elk, venison, and wild hog, as well as a well-stocked pantry. We also have beef, pork, and chicken. I called my ex back and told her to come by and pick up a big load of groceries. This is where it got weird. She said she didn't want groceries. She wanted me to give her money for Uber Eats or something. I said, no, I have 2 weeks worth of food that you can have, but I'm not giving you money for takeout. She called me an asshole for expecting her to be grateful for my scraps, that I was expecting her to be all domestic. Everything I was going to give her was either frozen meat, canned veggies, fresh vegetables from the garden, and pasta or rice in unopened bags. I want my kids to eat well. Both of my kids, Hunt and my son, the older one, is a pretty good cook. He regularly makes meals for all of us at my house. Both kids eat game meat as well as store-bought. I honestly thought I was doing what she asked. I told my girlfriend not to bother packing anything up. I texted both kids and told them to let me know if they were actually going hungry, and I would take care of everything. Both kids texted back and said there was food in the house, it just needed to be prepared. Both of them also said that if I was willing to spare some of the elk and hog roast, they would take them. I laughed and said I would take them over later. My ex, however, is telling everyone that I'm trying to manipulate her into behaving like a housewife and refusing to buy food for my kids. Some people are taking her side and saying that I'm a dick for not helping her out. 100% balls out honesty. I don't think I'm in the wrong, but maybe I'm missing something.
No, you're not missing anything, dude. Like, there is a reason you divorced this woman.
Like, I was so close to asshole, just the title. Just the title. I was like, am I the asshole because I won't buy food for my ex and our kids? Yes. And then the more I read, the more I'm like, but really, it's will you give us a unlimited amount of money for whatever we want to do with, which may include food delivery.
Well, not may, will only include food delivery.
Well, but if you're handing someone cash, like, at least some of it may go towards food, but the rest of it may go towards whatever they want.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's that moment of, like, if someone's on a street corner with a big homeless sign, maybe they buy a cheeseburger with that 20 you hand them, or maybe they buy a fifth.
Right.
What could be more likely? It's probably not all going to get used for feeding the homeless.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think this is in that same boat is, if you're not willing to accept food,
right,
then food isn't really your problem.
Right.
The lack of income, the lack of funds is apparently a problem, and you're using food to justify at least a portion, if not most of the money.
Right.
Oh, we have to feed the kids, especially when they're like, no, the house has food.
No.
Like, we're fine. We have to cook, but like we're fine.
Correct.
Don't know what mom's deal is. That tells me you don't really either A, you don't really want the money for food.
Right.
Or B, you have a serious problem.
You don't want to cook. You don't want to allow your children to cook. Or you did not like the food option presented to you.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little different from saying that your ex-husband won't buy food for you and your children.
Well, technically, he's not buying it. He's growing and harvesting it.
True. But it gives the impression that someone is not taking care of their children.
Right.
Ostensibly not taking care of their ex, which some people, the mileage varies on that part.
Right.
But like this is the you're gonna let us go hungry
Yeah.
is the interpretation,
Right.
and it's like that's
No.
no, and I would say that's why everyone is siding with her and being upset.
Mm-hmm.
Is 'cause that's what they're hearing and thinking is you want your kids to starve.
Right.
And it's like they're not getting the rest of the story where it's like, but they have food and the kids are able to cook.
Right.
So I don't know what her problem is.
Mm-hmm.
If she wants Domino's, then
Right.
she has a problem.
Right.
But that's a want problem, not a need problem.
Right.
You don't need delivery pizza.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with not the asshole.
I'm going with not the asshole. And furthermore, thank God you got away from her. Hopefully your boys will get away from her. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I said it.
there you go.
But polls up. What's your vote, guys? Make sure you yes or no. We're not having everyone shitty here because the dude ain't shitty.
Nah, the dude seems cool.
Yeah.
All right. So on to relationship advice from non-monogamy.
Yep.
Struggling to understand one of my partners. If anyone actually wants to help talk me through it, they can message for more details, but I'm gonna give a quick rundown here. I'm a 30 female who got involved with a couple of 10 years, 35 female and 43 male. Things between me and him have been amazing, other than the old struggle to balance two girls, which I kind of expected. She, however, the one who asked for a relationship, has basically decided I'm moving in the spring, but has made zero attempts to compromise with me and my kids when we're all together. Not limited to not screaming with her teenager around me and my girls over stupid things in the morning. Today was he wanted to go to his other grandmother's house. Our boyfriend got lead singer of a local band he wanted into for years, and she not only wasn't even remotely excited, but complained that she hated the thought of having to go to his shows. Just wow. She recently complained about not being laid in weeks, but has shut down all advances, yet gets in an obvious mood each time I actually stay over and sleep in the bed with the boyfriend. Every time we've had opposite opinions, she not only disagrees, but makes me feel like she thinks I'm an idiot for my opinion, and we've had to agree to disagree. Something I don't agree with because it's been 3 fights about raising my kids, and I just don't accept her not taking my words as law. However, she completely denied me from even talking to hers if they do something wrong. Like, I can't ask the teenager to clean the kitchen after himself, but she refuses to even tell my kids to speak to me about their father if they ask, and she refuses to not tell them he's trash. He is, but I don't want to involve our kids in that shit. She fought me on how I was handling court and said I'd regret it when I lost. I've been winning, though. My approach has worked. It's hard to believe she even likes me for nights. It's just us. We watch TV. She just goes to bed. Doesn't try to talk or cuddle or nothing. I'm at a loss. She even kissed my cheek for a point last night, but expects me to go back tonight. I just don't know.
Run
Yeah.
quickly.
Oh, the headache I'm getting just from reading it. Like, this isn't just like you're having some rough patches in the lead
Negotiation.
up to moving in. Well, it's all a negotiation, but it's not that you're just having rough patches in it where like people are really strongly attached to their beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of do as I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm.
One, which that's red flag. But two, it seems very hot and cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come here, go away.
Right.
I want this, but not, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I want to bitch about it. I don't want to actually do it.
Right.
But I like complaining about it. But I don't want you to fix it because
Right.
I like complaining about it.
Right.
But if you fix it, I can't complain about it. Now I have to find something else to complain about. Like that's how I keep feeling reading each and every one of these is like she just seems to be like her own main character.
Right.
I mean, we all kind of are our own main character. But like to the point that this is supposed to be like she is the main character.
Right.
Um regardless of who the boyfriend or husband, I don't know which, is in a relationship with or what all that entails, it's all
Right.
got to be her world. This isn't going to work.
Right.
Point blank, this will not work.
Right. No.
Um,
Do not move in. Do not move your children in. Do not.
don't take your children over.
No.
Like, no, you need to keep your kids out of this situation.
Right.
Like, this is not healthy.
Well, it's far from healthy. It's far from where it really needs to be. And overall, it's like, do you need the writing on the wall? You know, is the behavior you're getting from the boyfriend not matching the experience you're getting from the girlfriend? And this happens when you're dating multiples at once. And first of all, I don't like that there's not an agreement of we're all parenting or we're not parenting.
Yeah.
That's an inequality. Unless it's like she's watching the kids. So when you watch the teenager, you can bitch at him about the kitchen.
As an option, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, but there doesn't seem to be any mutuality there, and more importantly, trash talking someone's ex to their father or to their children. No, please don't. Like, I'm sorry, that's just kind of divorce and broken relationships 101.
Mm-hmm.
Like, leave the kids out of it. Just leave the kids out of it. Like,
Right.
enough of the people that are in the relationship that has died
Right.
have problems not trash talking each other.
Right.
A third person is not required.
Nor helpful.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. If you can't say anything nice.
Yeah. Keep your mouth shut.
Nothing works really well.
Right. Especially when it's not your ex.
Yeah, not your ex. Why are you mad?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand like having sympathy anger, but even I understand that's a conversation we have as adults.
Right.
Not a conversation that I have with your children.
Exactly.
I mean, not that I could be held responsible if I have a God, you've got to be kidding me, how useless is this idiot moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all allowed at least a couple of those because some people's exes deserve it.
Right.
Because sometimes their behavior, but even at that's as far as you go with that. You don't sit there and literally call someone's ex trash.
Right. I wouldn't use his name.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm trying to liken it to a situation with one of our friends and their ex, and trying to imagine the stunts they have pulled.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that if I had, I know what I have said hearing about them without the kids in the room.
Right.
There have been a couple. I don't think I could have stopped my mouth as fast as my reaction.
Right.
So I could have inadvertently, easily said some things without thinking.
Right.
And that's one thing, but that doesn't sound like the situation.
That isn't even close to what's being said here, what's being done here. And, I will refrain my commenting on that. because that'll take me onto a tangent from hell about how useless some human beings are.
That's true.
But anyhow.
But you get my point. Like you've
Yeah.
I'm sure, had the same reactions without the kids in the room.
Yeah.
But have you had that same moment? Like if the kids were in this room, I don't think I could have stopped that one.
Oh, I've had the reaction of, well, that's a choice.
Yeah. That would be the best I could hope for.
Right.
In front of the kids in
Right.
some of these would be, but I don't think I could have stopped a couple of being like, that son of a, oh my God.
Right.
Like, yeah, I don't think I could have stopped some of them, but
Right.
like that would have been provoked.
Right. And, I would not name them, um, especially because normally it's adults talking to adults and children drifting in and out, and they shouldn't hear the name because then that perks their ears.
Yeah, well, and I'm never going to have the situation where I would look at
Mm-hmm.
the friend that we're talking about. I would never look at their kids and be like, so what do you think about your shitty daddy?
Right.
No. You
No.
know, like, what are you getting your shitty father for Christmas? Like, I'm not, no.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? And that's sort of how this is reading and feeling, is like,
Yeah.
that level of like, no, don't do that.
Right.
You know?
And it's one of those, it's like, not only that, but don't do that in general.
Yeah.
If we wouldn't do that with our friends, then we're not going to do that with our partners either.
I mean,
Because I've had some shitty ex-wives and some shitty ex, baby mamas, and you still don't talk them down. You go, well, they just have something else to do today, so we're going to do this, and you move on.
Yep. Like, that's not my disaster to manage. It's just my, like, all right, we're walking. Like, we're going here now. Like,
Right.
this is not my conversational topic.
Exactly. But at the same time, it's like, why? Like, the first moment of bullshit is that, especially in early relationships, is that first moment you sit down and renegotiate, like, this is not acceptable.
But no, I think they're so far down past that. And I don't even think that's going to, like, would have worked at the time. I think there's a really heavy black and white thinking entrenchment.
Mm-hmm.
And like, one side of this is like, okay, we could agree to disagree and we'll, just kind of find this middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you raise your kids this way, I'll raise my kids this way, thank you very much, but we'll respect each other's method of raising children.
Well, not only that, but then that brings into the other debate of, okay, so we're not living together.
I mean, I still think in that situation you could. Well, because that would move into your mother is responsible for that. Like,
right.
I can't give you permission, I cannot make demands.
Right.
And vice versa. Mm-hmm. But you can't just be like, well, you can't talk to my child.
Right.
But I'm going to sit over here and talk to your child constantly.
Right.
And tell them what to do and how to do it and what I think of your ex-husband and blah, 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 blah. And you can't stop me.
Right.
That's how this reads. And I'm like, no. That's not agreeing to disagree.
Right.
That's disagreeing.
Right.
There's no compromise there.
Right.
There's no agree to disagree to it. There's no agreement. Because that's sort of the part of agree to disagree, is you have to agree.
Right.
Is that, hey, we have two separate viewpoints.
Right.
And we're okay with that.
Right.
And then we're going to respect each other's viewpoints.
Right.
That's the last part. That's the agreement.
Right.
There's no respect here. So, yeah.
Right.
Oof.
Yeah, and they're not even solving arguments at this point.
Oh, there's more posts.
Yeah, like they're like, we broke up twice, but we're not addressing anything.
Then why are you getting back together? X's are X's for a reason. Unless the reason changes,
Right.
X's remain X's.
Leave them in Texas or North Dakota. One of the two. You know, if they're in North Dakota, they'll get lost in a snowstorm and freeze to death. But anyhow. All right, guys, let's run over and see how the poll is. And the poll is no, you are not the asshole.
Shocker. Shocker. No, definitely not the asshole.
Yep.
Like I think OP really was trying to be kind spirited and was doing everything they should have.
Right.
And just so happened,
right,
to find out the problem wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
By offering a solution that wasn't the desired solution.
Exactly. You know, so if you can't accept a laundry basket of food, you ain't that hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And furthermore, don't tell me there ain't no food in your house. We have laundry baskets the size we do for a reason. And it's not because I don't like folding laundry. That's not my department.
Well, there's that.
All right, guys. So this week's going to be a very busy, normal weekend. I'm going to be on network taking calls. You can find me at your pleasurable network, be it Keen or, you know, anywhere else, you know, like Click for Advisor. You can always go get employment at aceandnight.com.
You can also jump over to Patreon, join it, and get a discount on that appointment too.
Exactly.
And that'll run you like $1 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. Depending on how much of a discount you want. Like, name your discount.
Yeah.
We're just saying.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for Psychic Saturday.
Sure. You could actually be getting Psychic Saturday every day if you wanted it for, I think, $10 a month.
Yep, pretty much. Yep. All right. So, of course, we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Tracy Van, Caitlin Bell, and Devin. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become a Patreon sponsor and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, please visit us at pcspnetwork.com.
Yes, and we will see you for Psychic the Plans at Sunday at 8 p.m.
Yes.
And then, good night, y'all.
Bye.